That has been somehow those who secretly sort of love and support and protect or defend these rogues. If you are a politically correct person, you better log out now. Another Gbese, another generations already committed, another generation's a future mortgage for your life. So motivate be motion day to raise an alarm that you are likely never going to react to. But there is something on MaiyegunsDiary Politico that a lot of people have come to realize. It is choice. It is by choice to be ignorant. For those of us who have been dealing in the political developments, upheavals and all that concerning Nigeria, we do know something though, that as you are pointing at those criminals making the decision and ruining lives, they also have enablers too. The enablers are also Nigerians and others. So in this regard, we have figured out that it is not just MaiyegunsDiary Politico that has to tell us what is going on in Nigeria and how all of this affects us directly and indirectly. We realize that everybody knows, but not everybody chooses to admit it because a lot chose to live in denial simply because of their own role in all of this. So when you are dealing with Nigerians, have it at the back of your mind always. Every negative, horrible things that they have managed to normalize in Nigeria. Remember this, brethren, that Nigerians do not hate corruption. Nigerians do not. In fact, in fairness, let's use some or many Nigerians do not hate corruption. Many Nigerians do not hate oppression. Many Nigerians do not really detest all this existence of violence. Majority of them are just not happy that they are not the ones doing the oppression, doing the corruption, doing all these vices. And that is why most Nigerians, if something is not, or something has not happened to them, they are unbothered. In fact, they can go to as far as denying such existing. That's Nigerians. I don't know about other Africans though. In case if you're an African, and some are all I have listed so far are in a way synonymous to the people of your country. Well, now you have what do you call it? You have a textbook example of how a rotten establishment is put together, is nourished, sustained, and continues to claim its victims at all fronts. We know this. You know it. I know it. A lot of us will choose selective amnesia. Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, I forgot. No, you did not forget. It is simply because you choose to forget. Let us forget about that one, Jari, and move on. How did you move on from being a victim of state-sponsored terrorism? How do you move on? Is it because you are not a direct victim? So it's easier to move on. So this is what it is. So MaiyegunsDiary Politico, as much as it is not possibly getting all of the supposed attraction it should get, but it continues to water the souls, the saved souls that will never lie to themselves again. I am talking about the souls that not only knows about the rot in Nigeria and how they are directly and indirectly affected. I am talking about the souls that have renounced this social conditioning. Let us pray. Oh, they are looting your money. You know what? Let us just pray for them. Oh, the terrorists are, they are growing in leaps and bounds. Hey, I'm so tired. You know something? We know that God will help us. Let us pray to God to come and change the mind of the terrorists. These are the kind of social conditioning that are synonymous to an average Nigerian. And listen, whenever you are trying to kind of start a proper conversation that's like, a proper conversation around the issue where you expect people to be sincere with themselves, they would throw God into it. My dear brothers and sisters, when the typical socially conditioned Nigerian becomes so confused as many are and lost as many are, they quickly throw God into it. That's them putting their hands up. Oh, Baba, there's nothing we can do, Jare. We will just make noise and make noise and make noise. These people don't send us. These people they don't care, Baba. All we have to do is let's just pray to God. May God just come and intervene. They know there is no God that is going to intervene. No, they know. It is an attitude of putting your hands up. What can you do? Okay, they are stealing the money. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Oh, they are rigging your elections. So what are you going to do about it? Oh, the judges are corrupt and they are giving their judgment to the highest bidder. And now she is Nigeria. Oh, Baba is Nigeria. What are you going to do about it? You can only cry. You can only scream. But on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, even if the number is still not that huge, if the number is minute, there are saved souls here. The souls that no longer falls for that social conditioning. I'm talking about souls who have actually seen that light. And every day in the temple of truth, we water their souls, we water their hearts, we water their consciousness with an updated truth. Truth that will keep them more sane, so that they will never fall back into that trap, which is that of Nigeria, the moment they begin to tell them unity, Pan-Africanism, and this and all that nonsense, while people continue to wallow in the pit of lost identities. This platform does help. You know what I mean? Gives you a kind of a closure. And if you are being honest with yourself, I promise you, you will never fall into any of their lies and deceit and then giving up again. So that is why when we tell you, or when you do know that it's a normal thing, they steal in Nigeria, it's no big deal. Let's just pray to God so that God can at least touch their hearts so that they can remember the poor people, because there's nothing they can do. But there will be something to be done. The reason why so many believe there's nothing they can do is because they are not really armed with the right information to understand that Nigeria that these criminals have sort of forced on us is a weapon fashioned against you, fashioned against your jobs, fashioned against your livelihood, fashioned against your businesses, fashioned against your family, fashioned against your children, fashioned against your dignity as human being. These guys have turned your supposed country, they have turned it and its entire structure against you. You are walking or you are swimming against the tide, and a lot of people are drowning along the line. Future of young people have been completely shattered. And I'm talking about millions of lives. This is how they do it. First, you have no power to elect your own leaders. And you know one thing, the moment you do not really have power to choose who represents you, you automatically, you are considered a slave who has no real choice, whose life is dictated for him. And in fact, he dare not go out of those dictates. If you dare, there are rules of the kind of punishments that will be meted at you. So you shouldn't go out of that line. Don't challenge it. Just take it. And that's what the system of Nigeria, that's what it represents. Make them feel like they have a democracy. Like, you know, democracy, government of the people, by the people, and for the people, so that they can choose their own representatives. Now, if their own representatives in government goes or does anything against their wish or will, then they hold that power. The power to what? To take away that sovereignty from them again and give it to other people. You see, that freedom of choice is what they said makes democracy unique. What do you have in Nigeria? The demonstration of craziness, madness, where mad people have taken over the asylum. So what do you have in return? You have drug dealers, money launderers, human traffickers, rapists, serial murderers. I'm talking about serial killers, ritualists, cultists, all kind of horrible crimes that you can think of. Men of the underworld, they call them. In Nigeria, they are living above the world, above the law. And those are the people who are now making laws for the rest of the country. They do not obey their own laws because they are totally above it. Men of the underworld, they were never to be seen, because the day you see them, it could be the day they are being held responsible for their crimes, the crimes that is called underworld crime, drug dealing, prostitution, human trafficking, terrorism, money laundering. You know, all these things are crimes that nobody ever should ever be rewarded for it in public until they got to Nigeria. And now you have fraudsters, scammers, you know what I mean, ritualists, cultists, you know, all horrible kind of human beings are now those in charge of the country, from the local government levels, right, straight to the state, then to their federal level, all occupied by all different kind of criminals. And what do you have in return? A failed country, poverty capital of the world, where lunatics have taken over the asylum. Guys, it is a place where anything goes. Nobody is held responsible. It is a theater of absurdity. And to make the matter worse, it is also a contraption that sort of pride itself of having a lot of educated people. I'm talking about educated people that are supposed to actually know more. In fact, educated people that people believe will lose more are those who are championing this ruinous elite in Nigeria. Now, the country they gave to all of us that we should be proud of is a country whereby you could go missing any moment that we're watching this video. Yeah, it is a place where terrorists are rewarded and pardoned. Activists are jailed. That is the contraption you have. It is a contraption whereby, the journalists who report on smuggling syndicate at your different borders, your borders was supposed to be the border that keeps you or keeps all evil away from you. Drug smugglers shouldn't be able to smuggle their drugs into your country so freely, so cheaply, and so conveniently. I am talking about all other smugglers, gun runners. Nigeria have more guns than human beings. Can you even believe that? Yeah, it prides itself as a country of over 200 million people, but maybe they have like 400 million guns. They don't even have a clue of how many guns. And in whose hands are these guns? Because you have no border, a corrupt one. Guess what happened? The journalist was almost declared wanted by their own police, while the real smugglers, the syndicates comprising of the hierarchy of the Nigerian custom, down to the bottom of them, they were there walking free. So that's what you get when you have criminals who have hijacked your system. I think we had a name for it then. We did have a name for it. State capture. The state capture is where, your entire system, institutions that were supposed to hold the society together have become so compromised, open for the highest bidder. That means you don't have any country anymore. A lot of us knew this a while back, by the way. And we were so convinced that except something is done and done now, right now, the end goal is that Somalia, as they say, will likely be much like a paradise. So some of you loudmouth, lousy Nigerians, from a contraption led by criminals, but you want to propagate a great country to the rest of the world and then act surprised when we are treated exactly what we wanted the world, or how we wanted the world to treat us. And we are surprised. Why are you always like focusing on Nigerians? They don't even respect Nigerians. They don't even like show this. I don't know why they hate Nigerians. Everywhere you go with your green passport, they treat us with so much disdain and all of that. These are the educated, supposedly educated, well-traveled, exposed people, Nigerians, who continue to give backings to rogues, criminals. I'm talking about educated, well-traveled, exposed people that are also, that's to the rest of the world. But back in their contraption, they are ethnic, betas. They are, tribal jingoists. They are religious fanatics. These are a bunch of people that ordinarily, if you are doing research on countries that never should have been created, people that should never have been made to become one country, please make that your thesis, make Nigeria the subject of your research. And you will see the truth about a contraption where all we do is lie to ourselves and then wait for our turn to deplete the contraption until its final breakup. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I've always wanted to let that out anyway. So why am I telling you all of this? Since the contraption has been taken over by different kind of rogues from every part of that contraption, like Nigeria. So the whole thing is pretty much about like a bazaar. 8 years. Listen to this. So before these rogues came in, there was this report. Nigeria economy is the biggest in Africa. Why? How? Nigeria, the biggest economy in Africa, somehow could only generate 8,000 megawatts of electricity for the entire 200 supposed million people. And the giant of Africa, the biggest economy, that is over $500 billion. For some reason, it could be bigger. In fact, Nigeria economy was rated as, top 3 fastest growing economy in the world. They rated Nigeria economy along that of China. Then there was this Operation what? Bring in the jihadists. And good luck, Egbere Jolanta. Mind you, the economy that they said they rebased for over 500 and something $billion. They said if corruption was to be reduced, if if the violence of Boko Haram at the time was no longer there, that economy stood a chance of becoming like over 3 trillion economy. Sounded good. Then the APC, Egbekegbe came. Baba, Nigeria's foreign debt was put at the time 13.5 billion US dollars. Okay, Nigeria exchange rate and all of that. I don't know if I should repeat all of that because it's important, right? So that I can tell you the one. Okay, now Nigeria exchange rate then officially was 145 naira to a single dollar back then. Okay, 8,000 megawatt electricity distributing 5,000 megawatt electricity, still so inadequate, right? But they had an economy and a roadmap that possibly, if half of it was followed at the time, Nigeria could possibly still be poor, okay, still corrupt, but not this like multi-dimensional, excruciating poverty that you are currently facing, and the threat of further of that is facing Nigeria today, okay? So a little bit reflective, but people felt like they deserved more. Good luck, Egbere Jolanta the people around them, they were stealing money. They were stealing, they were buying properties. They were buying cars. Jonathan hated the poor people. He cannot even protect the people from Boko Haram. Nigeria was so much in debt. How could we be exchanging a dollar for 200 naira to a dollar? Could you be buying a liter of petrol for 87 naira, a country that is producing crude oil? They sure bombarded everybody with all of this, okay? And there was no time that Boko Haram told them what or how or why it was better than, or it will be better than Jonathan. Now these people, they talk, say, Jonathan call, he has betrayed everybody. They kidnap school children, how dare you? Nigeria is, in order of Dasha. Boko Haram didn't tell them why it was better. They did not care to ask. They just felt like nobody can ever be poorer or worse than Goodluck Egbere Jolanta. Then they started borrowing when they took or captured Nigeria. They started borrowing money. And then they started putting the generations yet unborn in debt repayment poverty. It got so worse that the IMF, the World Bank, they were advising Boko Haram. They were giving them money, so much money left, right, and center. But they were telling them to go and devalue Nigeria Naira. They even advised them to go and float Nigeria Naira. All these advices Boko Haram followed, and they gave him money. Nigeria debts crossed over $100 billion right now. Nigeria debt is over 100 trillion naira. And there is nothing to show for it. Nothing other than abject poverty, uncompleted projects, and more debt. So they devalued Nigeria Naira so they from 145 naira to a dollar, it jumped straight to over 700 naira to a dollar. The Nigerian revenue dwindled so much. Companies, businesses started folding up. Nigeria started losing resources, started losing money. It got so bad that Nigeria started using 98 to 99% of our revenue to service debt. After fulfilling all the obligations of the IMF, World Bank, Nigeria became poorer. More Nigerians became poorer, and more Nigerian areas fell into the hands of terrorists. Then Tinubu came in. Immediately Tinubu came in, he continued where Boko Haram stopped. He continued his friendship with the IMF and World Bank. Nobody is going to do business with Nigeria. Nobody is going to go to a pariah state led by a drug dealer. There is no amount of, see, let me tell you something. You can say, now because I don't like Tiknumbu, which is true. I can't like somebody like that. You can say, because I don't like APC and the rest of, that's why I am saying all of this. Yeah, you may be right. But the truth of the matter is that I am the only person that can be very honest with you. Even if your emotion is going to be bruised. You see, this world today is a global village. Okay? And indeed, there are countries with investors who have money. There are also countries with real business investors who want to come and do something right there. They are everywhere all over the world. They are in Nigeria too. Even those who are in Nigeria, I mean, those who are making their money, who made their money from Nigeria or living in Nigeria, or even who stole money from Nigeria, majority of them will invest the money in Nigeria. You know why? Because they know what they have done and they know how the rest of the world sees them. And that is why, rather than invest the stolen money in Nigeria, they decided to further convert Nigeria, supposed Nigeria national assets, and they convert them into scraps and sold them to themselves in scraps. It's like they are all out to finish the entire contraption. So the world knows, would you take your $1 billion to Nigeria when you have a report of those who have had multi-billion dollars investment in the country? We're talking about investment that have run the lifespan of over 30, 40 years, only for them to fold up within the space of 5 years under this criminal APC. That never really told you or promised you anything in particular, other than that you should hit on Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Now, everything they accused Goodluck Ebele Jonathan of, they have done worse of them. And guess what? They are not ready to take responsibility for it. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that Nigeria is what it is now. It's not their fault. If to say PDP, 16 years of PDP, if to say they have built Nigeria, APC will need to come and build. That's what they are saying now. They will never take. And that's why I told you, I've said this many times. So we know them. I do know them very well. You should know them too very well. Okay? They are out to finish you. And they will do it again and again and again and again until you are finished. Or you stop them. If you don't stop them, they will never stop. I mean, never. They will do worse. And you will read about it. You will feel it. You will suffer it. If you don't stop them, they won't stop. And that is why you have to understand what they are up to. Tiknumbu came in and he said he would continue from where Bokwari stopped. Where did Bokwari stop? Bokwari ensured that the supposed employers of labor, businesses in Nigeria, they continue to suffer and die. And there is no real focus on them to help them. No. Okay? So, Tiknumbu continued. He listened to the IMF, World Bank. He's been saying it repeatedly, confidently. And the IMF and World Bank, they also said it publicly. That yes, we advised Tiknumbu. They said they told him that 420 billion naira every month on subsidy that Bokwari's government was paying was not sustainable. Tiknumbu should remove it, or else Nigeria was going to collapse. And Tiknumbu listened to them. He removed it. Nigeria economy collapsed. Then they said, oh, no, don't worry, it's not like that. It is a reform. Tiknumbu's reform is the reason why you are doing baby work. I mean, you are doing labor pain. IMF continued to utter that. And then, in order to save Tifnumbu, since Nigerians have become so poor and destitute, now only population they get, which is also fake. Look at me very well. They continue to tell the world, and their partners like World Bank and all of these guys who have interest in Nigeria, they continue to help us tell the world that Nigeria and call, there are over 200 million people. But what they are not telling the whole world is that nobody has actually counted anybody in Nigeria. Nobody. And whenever you hear Nigeria doing counting, census, they are not counting because they want to do development. Politicians are counting because the final figure will determine how much money you are going to get monthly in your state and your local government. Do you understand? When Nigeria says they want to do census, count people, they don't count people scientifically. They forge the number like their elections. Do you understand? They forge the number. Nigeria is a country that publicly said 98.5 million people, nearly 100 million people registered to vote in their elections. It is also the same people who said they shared over 90 million voters card to voters. Election came. There is no 90 million registered voters anywhere because it is fake, cooked numbers. And that is why when politicians in Nigeria says they want to develop, they are not developing anything. It's just a fluke or fake. So 200 million people have become destitute. 200 million people that cannot, or let me say 200 million people that live off less than $1 a day. Put it that way. It has become so much that now the number, which is fake, doesn't really reflect any true thing economically, because their economic power, purchasing power, has been so destroyed and crashed that Nigerians could barely afford anything. Listen, Nigerians spend money, and you see them everywhere and say, Nigerians are rich. Nigerians are rich. You see all the lifestyle, of course. But do you want to know something? They themselves admitted, when you have a country of over 70% of your population living in multi-dimensional poverty, no access to good food, no access to good road, no access to good electricity, stable electricity, no access to good medical care, no access to good education, no access to safety. I mean, these are the supposed World Bank or the World Health Organization index of how to rate poverty. 145 million Nigerians are reported to be living in multi-dimensional poverty. 40 million of them are mad. By the way, initially they said over 78 million of them are mad. They have mental health problem. The hardship that individual people faces in Nigeria, the chunk of them that you barely see, those you see their videos that look like, they look like head that seems like, a stream of head. When they are trying to show you their campaigns and all that, right? Those are the populations that lives in the extreme and abject poverty. The ones that could barely feed for real. They exist and there are many and more are falling into that. So tell me the usefulness of that population. A population that is not economically viable. A population that is economically poor. In China, for example, I mean, in the last 10 years, they pride themselves of having lifted over 100 million Chinese out of poverty. Let me say poverty, no they there. But these are 100 million people living in abject backwater poverty 10 years ago. And today, they are no longer there. In India, over a billion, over 1.5 or so billion people living in India. Baba, they themselves, their own economy. Poverty, they deal massively. We are talking about billion, not you and your fake 200 million. Billion, confirmed billion. Where their own economy, like that of Nigeria, 10 years ago, it was rated to be around 700 billion US dollars valuation for over 1 billion, making India one of the poorest nations on earth. In fact, India was the poorest nation on earth 10 years ago. Today, the Indian economy has crossed over 3 trillion US dollars now. That is the base of their economy. They are projecting them that they are going to cross over, over 100 million in under 10 years. More people have been lifted out of poverty, physically, seen, done. In Nigeria, all lies. No thanks to IMF and World Bank that these rogues have always been listening to. What do you think they have in stock? Go devaluate your currency. Go make your people poor. Your currency has no real value. For the past, 6 weeks, the central bank governor of Nigeria, Oduduwa Emefiole, Cardo-B, had been doing his abracadabra, and he has been paying well the bubu sellers to continue to amplify what is so artificial that the people who are the victims of this ruined country are trying to now speak for them. Let us be positive for a while. Are you not happy that the Nigerian Naira is crashing? I mean, Nigerian Naira is gaining back. Are you not happy that the dollar is crashing? I will be happy if this crash of the dollar in Nigeria is coming from the back of improved production in Nigeria, improved electricity generation and distribution, something physical, something traceable, something measurable. Not these make-up lies that we have also deflated many times on this platform. I did my best. I just had to look bad to a lot of people, just trying to tell them the truth. This whole thing that having to take dollars here and there and give the dollars to say, oh, we want to make, the Forex market in Nigeria very much like a liquid. We need to create liquidity. All this nonsense English, right? It's all rubbish. Liquidity, the mean is that the free flow. That is to say, if I want pound sterling and I have Naira, I should be able to walk straight into the bank and say, I need a pound sterling. I need a 1,000 pound sterling. And they'll tell me how much it is. And I'll pay them in Naira and get the pound sterling. What I do with it is not about this business. As long as the dollars and the pound sterling are readily available and legally available, that's what you call liquidity. I mean, let me give you an example. I'll keep showing you an example, because in Nigeria, they said some people, they are keeping the dollars. That is why dollar is scarce. They said of some people, they are keeping their dollars, or they are buying dollars so that they want to sell the dollar when the dollar is expensive. But dollar is just like every other money. If you can keep Naira, your Naira that you spend every day in Nigeria, you can keep dollars too. You can keep pound sterling too. You can keep all of that, especially if you are somebody who travels. The availability of the dollar or the Naira or the pounds is not because you decided to keep $1 million in your house and you choose not to spend it. It's your loss. Your dollars that is there invested and is working and in circulation, right? It is to your own benefit. But if you choose to keep it away, the American government, the UK government can say, oh, the reason why we don't have dollars in the UK is because Some people are keeping their dollars away from the public. But these are the normal rhetorics in Nigeria. Even economists, supposed educated Olori Brukus from Nigeria, they continue to make it so too. But the real people who actually steals your dollars, they are not making the dollar liquidity enough or liquid enough for those who are transacting in it. Is this right? The politicians, the state governors, once they get their dollar, once they get their monthly allocation in naira, the corrupt system, corrupt central bank, and the corrupt banking system in Nigeria, they are ready. They won't make the dollars available to those who are really transacting or with it. I'm talking about those importers and real businessmen. They have to bring their services, goods and services into Nigeria. So they have to go and, they have to go and beg for it and pay through their noses for it. But the people, the main people who are like hoarding your dollars, the ones that are taking the chunk of it in billions as they are coming in, the politicians and their central bank friends and their fellow bank friends, they are joining all of us to say, now because say you keep $200 or you keep $500 or you have $1,000 somewhere, that is why Nigeria is not, that's why dollars is expensive in Nigeria. Let me show you this. Look at this. I'll keep showing you, right? Just look at this money here. I got sprayed this money. I got sprayed these dollars, right? 2 years ago now. Almost 2 years ago now. This was when we're doing the naming for Yewande, my daughter, right? Here in Glasgow. For some reason, I've not had any reason or any chance to spend it. But it has been here for almost 2 years. And that never really caused dollar scarcity in the UK. But yeah, again, they are the people who take the tranches of all this money. But when they want to make you feel responsible for their own crime, they turn to you and say, why are you keeping your dollar? Instead of you to spend it, instead of you to this or that. But yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Because dollars can naturally flow into Nigeria like every other currencies. If you have something to sell to them, if you actually have something to trade with them. So what would they need? Because you are dealing, your country is dealing or trading in naira, right? So, and you have the good that they need. They will pay you. They will bring their currencies to you. Change their currencies to naira so that they can be able to transact in your country. That is the job of the central bank of the country. And you see the flow, like they said, right? Liquidity and all of that. If they themselves chooses not to continue their round tripping, the back end, their deals, and other lies that they use in taking those foreign currencies from your own treasury. So they blame you for it. Then when they want to sort of destroy that naira further, they go borrowing. When they go borrowing, you go sorrowing. Is that not what happened? You go sorrowing. What is sorrowing? Inflation, what do you call it? High exchange rates, high cost of living. All of them will fall into the trap of indebtedness. Countries that can't pay our debts, but they are still getting more money from the World Bank. Nigeria has a budget of, listen to this, Tinubu submitted a budget of 25 trillion naira. They hid the rest away from the public. The Senate of Nigeria passed the budget of 28.5 trillion naira. 28.5 trillion naira. Nigeria no get 28 naira for accounts. Because whatever money that goes into Nigeria, seriously, right, automatically should go into debt payments. But Nigeria has no money to pay debts. So Nigeria is servicing the debts. Since they have no money to fund their budgets, ladies and gentlemen, IMF, World Bank, that told them to remove subsidy, are willing to give them some money. Oh yeah, come here. 1 billion here, 2 billion there, 1.5 billion here, 3 billion there, and then go on and devalue your currencies. Tell your people that, they just have to endure this austerity, but you need this money to fund the budget. Baba, from that same shitey budget, criminal budgets, and they call it renewed hope budget, which we all know is a renewed shege budget. Inside that budget, it has been exposed, ladies and gentlemen, right, that over 7 trillion of the budget are going to be 7 trillion naira will be spent on non-existing projects at all. You know it. At least you know it. Don't pretend. I said it here. Where they want to spend 18 billion naira to buy refrigerators for the people of Akpabiole's constituency in Akwa Ibom, where they want to use 180 billion naira to construct a street light that will cost each one will cost about 170 million naira to build one street light, solar power street light. We saw where they want to use another over 200 billion naira to construct boreholes, borehole for water that they were listed in areas that doesn't even exist. 7 trillion naira of this money is going to private pockets. In other words, this is how they are going to accumulate what they need to fight and continue your state capture, renewed shaggy. 2.2 billion naira, dollars, is coming from the World Bank to support Nigeria, for Nigeria to fund Nigeria's budgets. 2.2 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria removed subsidy. Tifnumbu said subsidy was gone. Then they turned around and gave it another name. And recently, and repeatedly so, a lot of people have come out, including those who are the oil marketers in Nigeria. They've come out to say, in case if you don't know, yes, they told you subsidy was gone, but it wasn't. Because right now, even El Rufai also came out just recently, a member of APC, Gbese, and you know what he said? El Rufai reminded all of us that if you are still blind, then it is your choice. If you choose to be ignorant, then it is your own choosing too. When they were paying subsidy, they were paying 450 billion naira, or sorry, 420 billion naira monthly for the Nigerian subsidy every month under Bokuwari. And this was when you were buying a liter of petroleum for 167 or 165 naira per liter, right? 420 billion. They said Nigeria could not afford it. Nigeria will collapse. Now, they are secretly not telling you paying over 900 billion naira for the same subsidy so that they could keep it. They could keep that price at 600 and they're what? 650 naira per liter. And according to these oil marketers, they said, well, to be sincere, when that dollar went up and the bag of rice also gone up as well, went up as well, right? So exactly what should have happened to your petroleum and others too. Ladies and gentlemen, you should have been buying a liter of petroleum for about 2,000 naira per liter now. But the Tifnumbu's shameless, criminal, illegitimate government continue to hide this from you to further bankrupt Nigeria. No development is coming anywhere. Don't deceive yourselves. Now you are paying double on the subsidy just to keep it at 650 naira per liter. For how long? And it is the same thing when they went to the Afrexim Bank, Africa Exit Import Bank, Afrexim, sometimes in September 2023. This was barely 4 months after Tifnumbu indeed rigged himself in to be your president, right? So they went to the Afrexim to ask for some money. And those ones promised them $3.3 billion loan, facilitated by the Tony Elumelu of UBA and his whatever holding, $3.3 billion loan. This time around, it's going to be a 5-year loan. These ones are not doing 100 years loan. No, it's 5 years. After 5 years, if Nigeria failed to pay back the loan and the interest of 30%, then definitely they would have to, these guys would have to come to Nigeria and take, for as long as it takes them, 67 million liters of 67 million barrel of crude oil from Nigeria, valued at $12 billion. That is the collateral for that. And when they took the money, it wasn't because they would needed that $3.3 billion to invest in real infrastructure that would possibly yield and pay back the loan. No, they took it to defend the Naira. And that was when Cardo-B, who first bragged about floating the Naira and let the market forces determine and decide how much the dollar will go for, suddenly backtracked without telling you, the same way they didn't tell you the subsidy is back. They didn't tell you that they have decided to unfloat the naira from floating the naira. So they decided to start backing the naira. And they started what they call the clamp down on speculators. Bureau de changes were their first or second victims. So they went after them only to return them back later and renew their whatever sharing formula. We will give you so amount of dollars, but we will tell you how much to sell it. And we will make you must sell it that way because we want to control the narrative. From 1,900 naira to $1, we want it to go straight down to 1,100 naira to $1. And that will be on us. Who is going to cover the differences? Don't worry, we'll cover it. Nigerians will cover it. We have a borrowed money to use for that. I told you, they needed endless free flow of that dollars so that the liquidity that Oduduwa Emefiole Cardo-B is doing can continue to work. Actually, all of this are just something to put together to make it look like something is happening, only for them to end up in Washington, New York, America, tabi Washington, London, tabi anyway, they landed in America. They were discussing the economy. And yes, Wale Edun, the finance, or what do you call that in Nigeria, finance minister or minister of finance, was there. And Oduduwa Emefiole, of course, was there. And they were there to mesmerize the World Bank team. Look at them, all suited. They are discussing. So what do you say you will do for us? Did you say you will give us 2 billion? How about 3 billion? See, look at us. We have a lot to do. We want to build road. We want to build schools. We want to build hospitals. Give us some money, please. Please. And this is the meeting. It's called World Bank and the IMF meeting. In fact, they even took a shot with the supposed new World Bank. This one at the new World Bank. I go look for a name. Something Pajab, I'm gonna. Yes, Adebanga. Adebanga. That man in the middle is the one in charge of the World Bank, is the World Bank president. Now look at these two puppets. The two puppets are also in the hand of their own puppet master's representative, World Bank. See, this is to say we have now convinced them. They said they will give us some money. And they said the money is going to be 1% interest. So good. 1% interest. Cardo-B kilo few. Very good. Wale? Wallace, what do you think? Very great, bro. Very great. So we have a very good news. This one will go a very long way. We have done so well. Let's go break the news to Nigerians. That our conversation with IMF and World Bank has yielded results. President Tinubu's renewed Shege agenda has received a boost from the World Bank. And because they are so impressed with our economic reform, our agricultural reform, our security reform, our blah, 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 blah reform, bruv, we did it. You see that hand? That is Wale, okay? I mean, sorry, Wale Edun rather. Edun Agburi Girefe, like that. You know, that's how you actually have to praise the twins in Yoruba land. Edun Agburi Girefe. Edun is a monkey. A monkey lives at the top of the tree. So like the top of it, like high there. And so this guy probably felt, as Wale Edun, he felt on top of the world. And he was honored, sincerely, because it also coincided with his birthday. Yes, it did. I'll show you.
One more thing. It is, please, everybody listen. Let me take it for you. Let me take it for you. It is somebody's anniversary of his birth today. And that man is the coordinating minister of
So it's better. So it's okay. And make sure it's actually kept close to them. It's strange. A lot more information. Go on.
So, all set, done deal. And few days ago, he had this to say, all word salad, okay? Coordinating Minister for Nigeria says this.
What Nigeria is looking to do, when you look around the world and you look around what has happened over the last, say, 4 or 5 years, you've had the COVID shock as well as other disruptions. And what it has meant is that the economies of the rich world have not really recovered. They've grown about 4% in the last 4 or 5 years. They have not recovered to the pre-COVID levels, except the US. The US is growing at, has grown over that same period at about 8%. So it had high inflation and it was battling inflation, keeping interest rates high to bring inflation down, and yet at the same time growing. That is what we need to achieve in Nigeria. And of course, it was the more buffers you have, the more savings you have, the stronger position you will be in. And what we are looking at is that to go and mobilize those savings, those dormant savings, those savings that were in the easy areas, government securities, to bring them out and use those savings to grow the Nigerian economy. So that overall is my sense of where we are and what we are trying to do. And I'll just end on this note. There's much more optimism in Nigeria, amongst Nigerians, and from what I understand as well, amongst our partners, our development partners, and even you, the institutional investors, the foreign investors. And I think we just want to keep on with that trajectory. Thank you.
That's what we're trying to do. All of the investors, all of that, they are the time they are trying to convince their loan masters. Loan is good, don't get me wrong. Okay? It is like a quick cash that you could actually use to boost, also to boost your own, anything you are involved in, your own production and the rest of that. And the moment you've done that, yeah, pay the debt or pay the loan, and then you still have everything for yourself. But in Nigeria, you see the loan, you don't see the project. Or the project ended up as substandard, but the country is saddled with the repayment of the loan. But the project that never really serves them. And at the end of the day, all this repayment denies the poorest in Nigeria, the poorest communities, which are so many, the opportunities of development, or them actually feeling the pulse, or feeling the presence of government in their lives. It never gets to them because most of the money has gone from the top. They've schemed it that way. And what is going to be the end goal for that poorer economy? Tinubu is telling them he wants to build $1 trillion economy. Anyway, this is not how to build $1 trillion economy, okay? So $1 trillion economy is a place where you won't have money to buy a yacht. You sell all your presidential fleet, you sell everything, sell them off. You don't need all of that, right? I mean, cut out all this waste. Like you have to like spend over 2 trillion naira buying yourselves cars, building yourselves a new palaces and all of that. Once you have to cut all of that off, and then you concentrate whatever money they give to you, concentrate them on real production, which is never going to happen. So I don't waste my time saying much on that. So from the report we are now hearing, I told you about South Africa, Egypt, and and a few other places, Abi, who are now going to be taken over from Nigeria. It took APC, Gbese, 8 years to take you down the drain, take your economy to negative, and turn Nigeria to a dumping ground for all the abandoned stuffs from the rest of the world. This is their own doing. And you must remember that. Now they are telling us that the dream of you becoming the giant or the real giant of Africa again will never happen. Not now. So if, listen to this, if Nigeria was #1 economy in Africa, verified, over $500 billion, over $500 billion worth economy, there's still the chances. So there was, in fact, three fastest growing economy in the world at the time: India, China, Nigeria, I think. Or Nigeria, three fastest growing economy. Then became the poorest capital of the world, where that growth suddenly died, cut off by APC. Egbekegbe, Nigeria became negative. I am talking about financially. You are in red. Okay? So, Tinubu came in. They have told us now that maybe your economy, they say from $560 billion economy that Nigeria was in 2015. Today, brethren, today, they say Nigeria economy is worth less than 300 billion. And by June, July, with what Nigeria has been through under Tinubu, they say by June, July, it should become the 4th economy in Africa. 4th, like in the category of Ghana, in the category of Somalia. Okay, that's an exaggeration, okay? But I'm talking about, like, go look for all these countries that are going to be around $150 billion. Giant of Africa. 150 billion. You have no idea what has happened to Nigeria. You see, they rate countries by the amount of investment in that country too. You have had some great big pharmaceutical companies, drug manufacturing companies in Nigeria who have packed and left. Yes, you have seen major real, long-time investors and businesses in Nigeria who have folded up and left. And there are others who are contemplating on leaving. Others are cutting down their, they are cutting down their investments in Nigeria to reduce cost and looking forward to packing up entirely. There are no new major investors coming to Nigeria except those who are borrowing you money. There is no real major investors coming in to say, okay, we are coming into, no, except those who are borrowing you money, dipping you into perpetual indebtedness, generational poverty. So this is how they rate countries. And so far, so good. It is not looking good. No, it's not. They said Nigeria will be so lucky to have an economy of 150 billion. Yes. And these people also said that if this contraption continues to exist, right, and all the fake figures are being propagated and brandished about, you will become over 300 million people, 350 million people by the end of 2030. Now, these ones have no plan for those people who are going to be here in 20... Okay, I need to take that again so that you understand what I'm trying to say here, okay? Wherever you are all over the world watching me now, we know their population figure is fake. But since fake figure fake number because now fake figures that they chop for that place. People who are cooking the figure for them said, they say right now we are over 200 million, 210 million. Somebody will wake up tomorrow drunk and will say we are now 250 million. But others are already drunk ahead. They say by 2030, Nigeria population will be over 350 million. Now, do it this way. It simply means, what are we now? 2024. In another 6 years, 6 years, there will be extra 140 more million Nigerians who are going to join all of us. And these people who are borrowing the future, they have no plan for you. They have no plan for the adequate electricity that will serve that 350 million people. There is no plan. They have no plan for the healthcare that will serve that 350 million. No plan. They are saying it now, but there is no plan. They have no infrastructure that will serve that 350 million people road, rail, water, here, and all of that. So they have none. They have no plan or food that will feed that 140 million. During that time, come. I'm at the refugee last to see the rest of the world, you need. In 5 or 6 years' time, if true. Okay, sorry, I think they said, oh, no, they say it's 2050. Okay, maybe not in 6 years then. In year 2050, Abi. But do you see any plan along at all? I be say, I'm a Doni Bara last thing. A lot of you will become refugees here and there just for food. And in a boring country, you go end up there. These ones have no plan, no electricity that will serve you, that will serve that 350 million people. No electricity, no plan for it. But they shall know say if they are coming, that's exactly how your leaders are dealing with it. Oh. For example, 24 years ago, there was this feeling all over the place. Nearly 25 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, there was this feeling all over the place. Democracy, Nigeria. Yeah, some of our own papa, mama that time. Some of your papa, mama, if you are under 24, after democracy, now democracy, you get now because of democracy, that your papa now, he became too happy. Nobody said they promise him anything, no. They did not promise your papa, your mama anything, no. In 1999, no. They were young. Some of them were in their 20s. Some of them were in their 30s. Okay? There was no real hope or anything really promised per se. But the happiness that, the military is gone now. So we now have democracy. We are free. Now you make your papa and your mama to say, remove the condom. Some of you need to know. Some people remove their glasses in happiness. And they know they see well. And the next girl or the next boy around them, in the happiness of democracy, government of the people, they just said, I do. That's how they ended up on the altar. By the time they will put the glasses back, they realize that they have been scammed. There's actually nothing that comes with the democracy other than what you have now, the demonstration of grace. 24 years ago, those who were dancing for democracy, nobody asked the question, what the plan will be for the next 24 years. Some of you are 20, 24 now. And I don't get boyfriend. Some of you have fiancé. And some of you are already parents. Some of you at the age of 24, and I don't born like 3-4 kids. You are already like a proper mom. You are a proper dad now at the age of 24. 25 years ago, you know they here. Alaye, you are not here. I don't know where you were. Or some people somewhere, they felt like a country was becoming great. They decided to become dreamers. 24 years after, look at you. Look at you. You are here now. We are all now shouting and, we are now cursing the people that we were celebrating 24 years ago. Democracy. Democracy. Oh, I love you. I love you so much. And you love you. Are you sure? Are you sure? I don't like playing, I said, yeah, I'm very sure now. This is, you see, the country is great. We are going to be a great country. Now, come here. You better, let's plan democracy children. Our democracy children now, they are now the Indomie generation that can no longer afford Indomie. Chomo. All of them now, Indomie generation. They don't get any plan for you. They didn't plan extra electricity. They did not plan extra road. They did not plan extra hospitals. They did not plan extra schools. They did not have any plan for you. 24 years ago, now you are here. They used to call you Indomie generation. Your parents were able to buy you Indomie. You they go school. They go pack Indomie. Put them inside your takeaway with your oversized uniform. Nursery school, kindergarten, and all of that. Now you are 24. You cannot afford Indomie. Talk less of even buying one for your child. That is the essence of what I said. They have no plan for you. And you can see it. They can plunge you into perpetual indebtedness. You can clap for them now. They will be long gone. You will be here paying the debts. And you'll be looking around. What are we paying the debt for? On what exactly? Then you found out that there is nothing you are paying the debt for. Those who told you they borrowed money on your behalf, they just use you as a collateral. I tell you, no difference. Say these guys just carry Nigerians. Everybody who wants to borrow Nigeria money, they will just say, take them. They are not really useful. They are just big for nothing. If we can't pay you this money back, come and pack these people. Pack them to wherever you want. That's what it seems like. They do not give a damn about the future of the children that will be born in the next 20 years. The children that will be born in the next 30 years. Their futures have been mortgaged already. And they will do it again and again and again and again until you stop them. Until you have that courage to say, enough. Now, enough. Now, this is enough. And I will make you feel like to say enough. I don't know if you believe me, but I can make you. By showing you why you have to say enough. Now that you still have the chance. Because you may never have the chance again. Remember, the yesterday's survivors, they are today's victims, right? And what about today's today's survivors? They are the potential tomorrow's victims, remember? You may never have all the chance to procrastinate and think that you have another chance. You do not. If you don't stop these rogues, they will never stop. Listen to Shitty Man talking about Tinubu's magic. All lies, but he believes it. And there are some mumus who believe him too. I know it's annoying, but I just want you to hear it. An example of a country being led by lunatics and criminals who actually believes they are doing the right thing. Like, when you lie to yourself so many times, sometimes you begin to believe it. Oh, I have seen that happen many times. Except if you have not been following the APC. They lie to you. They gaslight you. They repeat it again and again and again. Then they start believing it. If you dare possible, now lie now, say, you're looking for trouble. Listen to Shitty Man.
This government headed by President Tinubu is poised to redefine the meaning and concept of modern leadership. I have worked closely with him. I have seen his soul. Honestly, the president's obsession is to live in a place of glory. His obsession is to transform this country, is to catapult this nation to a higher pedestal. Beyond that, it's not about primitive capital accumulation. No, it's not about money. He has the money. But he wants to leave a legacy. A legacy of qualitative leadership. Because the hope of the black man, the hope of Africa, rests on this nation. Not on tiny Seychelles with a population of 1.4 million, no. Not even on Ghana, I'm sorry. Or Sierra Leone with 4.5 million people. Or Liberia, no. This is where the hope of the black man rests. And we have to make things work. And by the grace of God, with your support, I want to assure you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of you. He understands the ecosystem you are operating in. He empathizes with you. And all these submissions, I will make copies and oblige him with a copy each.
Our purpose with a large delegation of leaders from various sectors in the economy was to...
I told you, Nigeria is the hope of Africa. Nah, that's what Nigerians tell themselves. Even Africans will never tell you that Nigeria is their hope. Listen, are you an African watching me now? Please be honest, okay? My brother or my sister. Just say it. Say it in the comments, okay? If you're an African watching us now. Because I want to ask you a direct question now. Yeah, you. Right? Tell me. Be honest with me, okay? Is it true that Nigeria is the hope of Africa? Do you Africans, other Africans, do you see Nigeria as your hope anymore? Or do you see, sometimes this question, right, may not really sit well with the millennials, because they are not around during the Pan-Africanism of the 70s, 80s that started from the 60s and all of that. There are still some generation here who are Africans, genuinely, who were looking forward to Nigeria. I'm not joking. I've heard them speak, elderly guys. But they grew up disappointed. Imagine you as a young African, from Ghana, from Guinea, from Congo, from South Africa. Those ones not like Nigerians per se, but not all of them. So here you get now. Like back in the days, like, you know, you grew up, you are like in the 70s, for example, and you are just looking at Nigeria from far, and you're looking at your country, and you are wishing, man, I wish I'm from Nigeria. I wish I'm from these people. We wish these people get it right. Or we wish that this country would be this, or that. Like, there were people like that, too. Then imagine growing old. You are now in your 60s, a Ghanaian, and you have seen a lot of things happen. You've seen wars even in Ghana. You've seen wars in other countries happened. Then you look at Nigeria of your childhood, that your African childhood of looking at everything. Because you see Nigerians there, they will tell you, they say African heroes, like Sankara of Congo, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, and this or that. So they actually taught us about all these African heroes and all that. So I am saying now that take a look at yourself and say, you are in your 60s now, a Ghanaian, a Cameroonian, okay, who probably once felt like you wish you were from that place or something like that, because I've had people say that, like I said, right? And then you live your life and you are grown up now, you are so disappointed. Look at Nigeria. When we were growing up, we wish that we were Nigerians. Nigerians were even saying Ghana must go, Ghana must go, Ghana must go, Ghana must go. The day they chased the Ghanaians out of Nigeria, all orchestrated by Bokwari Mumumadu. You know, it was Buhari that orchestrated Ghana must go in Nigeria. Long story, but that's not what we are here tonight. Like that, imagine. Ghana must go, Ghana must go. Now, a lot of you will prefer to live in Ghana. And you will never want them to say Nigeria must go, even though Ghana can't even say Nigeria must go. Their own case is even worse. It's worse. Ask their pastor. I know what I'm saying, right? I've seen Ghanaians online and they've complained a lot. Say, Pastor, this is worse. It is the worst we've ever seen. And I'm not joking. So you tell me, as an African, listening to me right now, tell me, Nigeria is your hope of Africa? Is Nigeria your hope? That is what Nigerians tell themselves. You see, Nigerians are kind of like a special creatures, right? We you know, we tend to want to sort of make ourselves like bigger than who we really are or truly are. And then we turn around and say, look at this small Ghana. If not because we get bad leaders. Small Ghana, they try to talk to us. Look at this small Gambia. Look at this small Kenya. Look at this small that. That's the typical Nigerian. Because they've told him that, Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Nigeria is the hope of Africa. And this idiot Nigerian could not tell himself and say, if Nigeria is the hope of Africa, what is the hope of Nigerians? Because you are from Nigeria and you can tell that, are you actually hope? So what is the hope of Nigerians if Nigeria is the hope of Africa? Nigeria will not take care of himself. That has become shame and embarrassment to the rest of Africa on so many fronts. A disappointment. The majority of them, they never shy away from saying it when they have the chance of telling us that you guys are just a big disappointment. You are so loud, but yet you are so coward before your supposed leaders. So coward to, like, you know. Anyway, let's go forward. Talking about criminals and their what do you call it? And their abode in that contraption that has led to further the generation of humanity. I'll use that. But here is Alex Otti in America. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this, but you're going to enjoy the next one. Talking about how and what it meant when 24 years. I want to use this as an example. I was talking about 24 years all this way, right? Now, 24 years, people destroying people were in charge of Abia State, a state in southeast of Nigeria. Like, it was pretty much like there was never a government there. Seriously, it was that bad that today the Abians, they will celebrate like carnival because Alex Otti just packed their drainages. Say, oh my God, can you believe it? Alex Otti just packed our drainages. Do you know that we've never packed this drainage for the past 24 years? Oh my God, I'm emotional. Oh my God, Alex Otti has started the construction of a 7-kilometer road in so. Can you believe that? See, but why are you Kenny? 7-kilometer road, is that why you are like, you don't understand. We used to always see them on TV from another places. We used to actually, you know what I mean? Like, that's Abia State, by the way. So he told them why. A place where 115 projects worth over 100 billion naira was awarded and paid for, but they actually don't exist. That's how they run Nigeria. From every state. North, east, west, south, everywhere. Then they turn around and tell you, Nigeria will be great one day. In your dream. In your dream. But here.
I can assure you that we are building an enabling environment. So that enabling environment will encourage your businesses, will support your initiatives and your dreams. It's not just to come and build a house, even though we also have a project to support those who want to build homes. We have identified 2 locations where we call diaspora cities. One is around Abia, the other one is around Loma.
Good one.
Those cities are going to be cities that people like you and I will be happy to live. So, the details we are still working on, but we have identified and actually acquired the land.
I had to share the one that is not too loud with you, but I've got another one that is so loud, and I love it that it is loud, based on what he said there. That was him meeting the Abians in America, telling them, we've managed to get this awarded, we have paid for this, we have paid the outstanding pensions, gratuities, and also we are doing like that, she gets. And a lot of them, because like I said, this is not, I only used drainage and all of that. So that's not what I meant by that. I'm saying that the reason why, if 1 kilometer of road is being graded and about to be constructed, why the people of Abia State, in fact, maybe I shouldn't even be using that because it makes it look so, I think it makes the Abia people look so like too cheated or cheap. So let's say a governor is constructing, let's say, for example, 40 kilometers road now. Fair enough, 40 kilometers. Because it's not as if he's going there to construct 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. I didn't mean it that way, okay? What I mean is that just like, using a metaphor of saying, even if you decide, if you tell them that we are buying this microphone, and it's going to cost us 100 naira. Now, you may go price this microphone, okay? and you realize that the microphone itself is just 70 naira. They've added extra 30 naira. Okay? And then you can complain about that. I say, but it's 30 naira now. Alex Otti, why are you buying it for 100 naira? Okay. In Abia State, to them now, if Alex says this microphone costs 200 naira, as long as Alex can show them the microphone he bought with 200 naira, it is a good start for them. Back then, Abia State is a state where, from 1999, successive governments there, every month, once their monthly allocation comes, they will call a meeting. They will share the money. Once they share the money, everybody will pretend that the state collected any money. I mean, workers will be waiting for their salary. They won't get it. Pensioners will be waiting for their pensions. They will never get it. The governor, the speaker, the deputy, the people in the state, they will all be acting hide and seek, or tells you that they haven't received allocation from Abuja for some certain reasons. I am saying this because I've always been following all of this myself, just like we are currently doing. So to them, if Alex says he's spending 200 naira on this, and he can show them that this is the microphone I bought with 200 naira, they are very much comfortable, and they will celebrate him, because it's a state where nobody gives a damn about them. A state that the state governor, in his own empowerment, see, healthcare, listen, this one is Ikpeazu, the guy before him. Healthcare in Abia State, they have what they call support for mother, maternity support. So if you give birth in Abia State, or your wife or your sister or anybody gives birth in Abia State, they have an healthcare policy, Ikpeazu, to give your family 500 naira. And that is from the government as a maternity support. He brags about it. He's so happy that he's doing it. He said to people, people needed money, they needed food. And now, if they have food, what are they going to cook with it? The state governor, this Ikpeazu guy, had to go and hire fuel tankers, kerosene tankers, and he was sharing kerosene to people as empowerment by himself. And he was so proud. That was the state of Abia State. So if you see them celebrate painting and cleaning, it's because somebody says, we are going to clean and paint this, repaint this place and renovate it. Then the following 2-3 days, or let me say a month or two after that, the place has been renovated. The place has been cleaned up. It's really, so somebody can say you will do something and you will do it. So for now, to majority of them, it's actually not about the cost now. Okay? And I'm saying this because you know me now, I kind of monitor everybody, but here is Alex Otti. And listen to this very well, okay? I want you to listen to this, not just listen to Abia. I want you to picture 36 other places, 36 other states. That is 35 states and the FCT Abuja, where similar thing is playing out. And tell me, how do you think the people will survive this? This is no longer about Tifnubu and his boys at the top. Oh. This is now about others at the component part of the Nigeria, who are bleeding the country like say tomorrow no day, and there is nobody holding them responsible. Yaya Bello is still on the run. See what Ikpeazu, according to Alex Otti, did with monies that went miss or kept flying.
Talking about corruption, I had set up a forensic audit as soon as I took over last year in Abia, and so that there won't be any argument, I called in one of the top 3 audit firms in the world, and not too long ago they turned in their report, and some of the things in the report are frightening. So, some 9.3 billion naira was paid to 7 contractors for contracts that were not executed at all up till today. Another 15.9 billion naira, almost 16 billion, was paid to 63 contractors with no supporting documents anywhere in the state. Another 12 billion naira was paid to 2 contractors for contracts that do not exist. Out of this figure, 10 billion naira was on September 25, 2020. And that is almost 4 years. Paid to some contractor for the construction of Abia State Airport. We have spent time trying to locate the airport. Up to now, we have failed. In fact, one of my aides told me the other day that maybe we are using native intelligence to look for the airport, that we should seek artificial intelligence. So as we continue to look for our airport, we have also involved security agencies to help us search. And so that's just an example of what typically happens. And when you juxtapose that with pensions that were lying unpaid for about 10 years and salary arrears, just one on this head in the 10 billion that was spent to build a non-existent airport was exactly the amount of money that our government used to take off the pension arrears.
And it is true. It is not new. You see, as he's saying all of that, I promise you, there are few people inside that hall that will just be like, oh, Benny, this story, Joe, you go and do your own, stop complaining, because you self go steal your own. That is a typical Nigerian for you. A typical Nigerian doesn't want to see the damages this is. No, well, Maiyegun, they are all the same, Joe. Even Alex Otti himself go do his own. So what will happen to this one that has, I mean, Alex Otti is here to do his own, Abi. But what happened to this one that we just heard? Well, Maiyegun, they are all the same, Charade. Go kill them. Typical Nigerians are not really interested in the ones caught. Because to them, the person that is catching the other, they too will end up being hunted. So to them, well, this one is not an issue. They are not interested. They are not. Okay, fine. I agree with you. They are, he's a thief. But even Alex Otti himself, don't they steal money? No, I know that. Oh, you do? Could you please give that to us now, since you do know? I read it online now that he himself has been inflating. Do you know how much money he spent in the house budget? You know how much money he budgeted for the state house? And I thought that he's spending over 2 billion over this. You know what I mean? That all of that is to tell you, leave him alone, that he used 10 billion to construct non-existing airports. Let's leave that. Let's face this one too. It is the same mentality. When somebody will tell you, oh, Maiyegun, I don't like Tifnumbu, I don't like APC. But Maiyegun, hey, Charade is more dangerous than APC. How? I just know it. Charade will be more dangerous than them. Charade will be shaking. How? You haven't seen anything to show that, right? But you are convinced. So, Maiyegun, I know that Tinubu is corrupt. We all know Tinubu is corrupt. Tinubu is this or that. But Tinubu is better. Peter Obi is worse. Kiniko will be worse. I can never trust. That's somebody who is a victim of the same people that he will tell you. I know they are bad, but that one is worse. That Charade will be worse. I know it. It's the way he talks. How is it going to be worse? I know the way he talks. It's going to be worse. So you are scared of Shore more than you should be scared for those ones who have put you in this situation. It is a Nigerian way. Are you with me? They are more scared, according to them, of anyone that stands against or stand up against their oppressors. They will admit, all of them now, all of them together. Why are you interested in the Olori Buruku then? Because he doesn't trust the non-Olori Burukus. He is so used to the Olori Burukus. And you telling him to go and try those who are not Olori Burukus. No, he is afraid of non-Olori Burukus. So he prefers the Olori Burukus. That is a typical Nigerian. Sure you get. In don't steal your own. We know say yourself go see your own. Just do something for people and forget this whole story. All this in a story. It is always a story to the victims of a bad government. But for the record, I have to leave that there for us. And I pray that everyone in Otta stay safe. Said after the rainfall today, it was more than just a flooding. Okay, it was pretty much like having all the electric cable falling off the building, so falling on buildings, falling on cars and all that. Somewhere in Otta, if you don't mind, take a look.
Gbogbo position báyìí Sango báyìí o. Gbogbo position báyìí o, wàhálà ti wà. Pressure ti wà báyìí, gbogbo position báyìí o. Gbogbo position báyìí. Ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ o. Ó pa o. Ọmọ na new phone sẹ́gun. Na new phone o. Ẹ̀rí kò ti na mọ́tò ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Ọmọ ló ní pé olóòlù ní pé kò síná lára kìíní yìí. Ilé ó ba orí mọ́tò. Ó ba orí mọ́tò yìí ní fọ́ pa. Wàhálà odidi ọ̀sẹ̀ kan wọ́n máa fi ṣe kí ní. Mọ́tò strong o. Ọ̀sẹ̀ mélòó? Ọmọ mọ́tò yìí strong. Ẹgbẹ́ mọ́tò yìí strong ó yẹ kó bend ni. Àwọn ọmọ mọ́tò yìí strong. Mọ́tò strong o. Ẹ ò pàdé mọ́tò yìí. Mọ́tò mi ò.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Bá sọ Yorùbá. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lu yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyìnbó kò ṣe sọ. Sẹ́yìn ìlú lé. Fún alówó wa ànówó wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Náà sọ wá di lazy youth. Òun ni mo wà ní táìmù yìí.
So stay safe, Yara Sango Otta. And we all saw the video of the flooding in Dubai, UAE. Baba, did you see that video? Did you see the flooding in UAE? Where they are doing the seeding. What do you call that thing again that you have to where they are doing this cloud seeding, is it cloud seeding? There is a technology, okay? This is a technology that helps freeze the cloud in a way that at a point then it will just, when it becomes so heavy up there, it will now fall down as rain, or sometimes it can fall down as snow. I had to go and read about it. It's an amazing stuff, an amazing technology. It's got great good size, and it's got so many horrible sides too, okay? So when they said that once the rain starts falling or the snow starts falling, it can also cause another terrible weather elsewhere. For example, now the whole rain is here, some other continent or some other part of the world may be suffering. Close to you, maybe it's really suffering drought. That, the farms will be drying up because there's no rain, there's no, everything is... So that's the disadvantage. But that's not why I'm telling you this, okay? Like we saw the video. We saw everywhere flooded cars. Or we even saw people, I didn't know that they have boat cars in Dubai. They seem to have been so prepared, okay? So they had this, right? They put all their expensive automobiles, lovely, lovely cars, right? They put them on speed boats. But this, like, inflated boats. Sorry, yeah. floatable boat or inflated boat. Or they drive their car on the water like that. It was amazing, right? But that's also that's not what I want to tell you when I saw this video, okay? What I want to say is that despite all the water everywhere, moving everything, Babala is still there. I don't know if it was just me, and I know I'm not the only person who observed that, right? They still had electricity. Light didn't go off in any part of Dubai. Despite that water everywhere, wash it. Baba. Electricity still there. Till now, they still get light. They still have internet. I had a meeting with the Yoruba Union meeting today. And we had a member of the union who joined us from UAE. They get light, they get electricity. The entire place is already flooded. I'm talking about like torrential, like high. Nigeria. That boy said, thank God there is no light. Once Nigerian electricity is a weather electricity. Number one, it's not available. Then, number two, most of the time, right, if the weather changes and it begins to blow, the electricity will go off. So when the rain is kind of finished, people will tell you the reason why they take the light is because of the rain. Okay? And once the rain is over, they will dry the wires. They will dry the cables for like maybe 4 or 5 days. So once the cable is dry and everything is fine, then the light will come back just to spark it and just be like, up NEPA! Boom. And we'll lose. They've taken the light again. There's one Sheila one. Maybe they are doing it. I remember those, those days in Odogbolu. See how it has rained now. We don't know how next time we are going to have electricity. Then they will bring the electricity. They will bring the light. Let's say 4 or 5 days later. Say, up NEPA. Up NEPA. Let's run home to go and charge our rechargeable lantern. You remember the rechargeable lantern now? That big red rechargeable lantern, radio and lantern. You have to rush them to go and charge it because they will soon take the light. Then, boom. No, they will soon bring it. Maybe they are testing it. Anyway, the last part of my chat with you is that of this guy, the Binance executive that escaped from Nigeria has been reportedly rearrested in Kenya. Remember, they said this guy left Nigeria on a private jet with a Kenyan passport because he is also a Kenyan. So any country where you want to run to, I got the one you. Anytime where you have issue with Nigeria, are you the wrong go anywhere? No go Kenya, no go Ghana. I'll tell you others that you shouldn't go. Because if you go to those places, you'll be lucky if they arrest you because they will kidnap you, drug you, and send you back to the people who are chasing you. They are willing to break international laws with Nigeria. But anyway, this guy also broke a law in Nigeria. He escaped. He escaped with the support or the help of those who were protecting or supposedly guiding him. However, they've arrested those who let him go. But the dude ended up in Kenya. And why are they looking for him? According to Nigeria, the reason why Nigeria Naira is crashing is because Binance allowed some corrupt Nigerians to use their platform to steal Nigeria money. But they don't know the names of all those corrupt politicians or corrupt public officials who stole the money. So they want Binance to give them access to their back-end information, their server, so that they can see Nigerians. Initially, they asked Binance to send to them the names of all the contacts and the names of all Nigerians who have used their platform. And they said, no, we can't. Give us the name of those who have violated your laws, and we can possibly help you in getting you the details, this or that. Nigeria has no name because the people they are looking for, they are the same people in government. They are also the same people who benefited from the looted money. A lot of them are hiding their money on Binance and some other cryptocurrency platform or apps. They just needed a scapegoat. So these guys traveled to Nigeria to see if they could have a chat with them, since Nigeria was contemplating on banning Binance in Nigeria. So they went to Nigeria, hoping to sit with them and see how they could possibly work things out. But that wasn't the agenda of the ruiners of Nigeria. They needed a scapegoat, and they needed one fast. They needed to give people the reasons why Nigeria Naira was falling. And they had the mumuns to believe them. So they were not interested. In fact, some of them were already telling this illegitimate government, starting from Ribadu, that Binance had been fined in the UK, in America, in India. Nigeria should find them too. Forgetting the fact that Binance was actually investigated in their involvement in covering up some people who they believe were under investigation, like the terrorists, funding terrorism, or hiding away some people, some people's transaction, people under investigations in those countries. So they find them for not cooperating with the authorities in those countries. Nigeria, they want to find Binance, and they say, why? So it's because Nigeria Naira is falling. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, some people use Binance to steal Nigeria money. Who are they? We can't tell you. You tell us. We don't know them. No, you do. No, we don't. I mean, you tell us those you are investigating, and we can tell you if they have used our platform, this or that. No. Okay, you know what? You're wasting our time. We are going to fine you. We need $10 billion fine. About the announce, Binance fined $10 billion for not having an office in Nigeria and not paying taxes, tax evasion. So, are you being serious? Like, is this what this is all about? Right? You wanted money, so you needed 10 billion. Are you joking? That's not how it works, mate. No, this is not how these things works. You have to accuse us. You have to actually prove that we have done something wrong. And then we go to court, and then the court will have to prove that we have done something wrong. And that is when we begin to talk about paying fine. What are you guys up to? I mean, what are you guys up to, by the way? We thought you were looking for those who steal your money. No, we are not looking for anybody who steal money. We need money from you. We heard that you have a lot of money. You gave them money in England. You gave them, in the UK. You gave them money in the US. You also gave them money in India. Give us some money. We need money. No, we won't. Then the whole story just got messed up. And then they had to kidnap those guys. They didn't take them to prison. They had to take them to a special guest house. This whole confusion, this whole media trial, then the breaking news came. One of them had escaped. How? Of course we know how. Then now they found him. How? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully now that they have found him, Nigeria Naira can continue to gain against the dollar. I'm going to save the rest of my energy. I've actually released a lot of that tonight. Are you not surprised that I just kept talking? Anyway, I've had a lot I wanted to say, and I'm happy I've said them. I don't know if you have any you want to say, but if you do, all you have to do right now is take a break, okay? So go and like this video. Like, leave the comment section, okay? Go under the video and like it. And possibly bring out your phone. If you have something to say, my line will be opened. And I would love to speak to you. That is when I get back. Right? Thank you so much, and don't go anywhere. I will be back in 2 minutes. Help me. I have Ahmed on the line.
Maiyegun baba.
How are you today, Baba?
Baba mo apa o tun ṣẹlẹ̀.
Same old. Oh, all right, man.
How enjoyment now. Ohio State.
Still
Be like.
I see, Omo. See, I decided to start wearing the this hat again, right? And I'll tell you why. Okay, it's because I feel like I should try and come to that America again this year, and this time around with the family. So somehow I need something to keep making it easier for me to want to do, because I've realized that it's going to actually cost me like about 10 grand. That's a lot. So I need something to motivate me, to make me not think about the money and begin to feel like it is possible, because
you need ginger.
And you know what? Motivate me. That's how I have to do that.
We go carry you travailler.
And I know if I don't cost that,
we carry you travailler.
Hopefully I will be in your place in July. Hopefully. And I won't be I'll be coming with the family.
We are now, because you are now. We did anytime.
No, you are Ahmed. I mean,
Maiyegun baba. I mean, me, I don't really have much to say. You know, it's about the debts. The loan, strong by way that they collect up and down. While they collecting on, plunge Nigeria into where they did today.
And another one,
and you know, all those loans, they come with some kind of interest. Where we say, even if you not pay, they go use your resources. Some of the resources, they will use and block them. And they are terrorists there. The same Buhari, those ones where we say most of them Musulmini around riba, where they talk say riba interest. Na haram, you know say riba na haram.
Yeah.
And then they na haram now, interest na haram. You know they take, you know they give.
Because I know say that they give their own loan interest free. People say Islamic loans are always interest free. You don't put interest.
You don't put interest. But the same people whether they carry religion, whether they carry all these things put for our face. I talk àwọn ni wájú tó bá ń kírun, àwọn ni wájú. Àwọn náà wà lọ máa gba interest, and then go they collect interest. Go they collect loan with interest. And you see the same mad people will come out, won't come the claim. And Nigeria, some Muslim, all those kind of nonsense. Like, I don't understand. One tell me, the talk say, you know, see the majority of the people in Nigeria are Muslim. I say, why, when you now go stop all this nonsense to get that kind of mentality, say the majority of people waiting for Nigeria. Na Muslim. Who tell you now? Where will not get that? Where will not get that thing? Where the record?
You know another one, You know another one where they must be, and this is also something a lot of people believe too, right? Is that the two major religion in Nigeria is Christian and Muslim, and you una two religion, I meant including you, una two religion, una so believe say there now una be the majority, true. Right? That will not be the majority. Others don't really exist. And if they does exist, they are inconsequential. All of this, no real fact to back any of it to. Sure you get. Because it's like that. We are more Muslim, or we are more Christians, and the rest of that. Baba?
Me, all I want to say is, you see, all these things, all this hypocrisy. Now waiting they vex me. All night they vex me. It vex me because even though me as I did here, it gets some things to just pay. It follow interest rates come. So I know today enter them like that. Only if I know if avoid them. Only if I know if avoid them. Now I will just put it like say you buy house so. No, if you carry on almost 200,000. You know, if you carry $200,000, say you won't go buy house. You understand? But that one will follow interest rate. But for example, like moto, she want finance moto, man your whole street, malora moto. torí mo mọ̀ pé ó ń bá interest mi ò sì fẹ́ tẹ̀lé interest rate torí mo mọ̀ pé ìmí nínú wọn some of them na rip off. You
Most
understand?
of them, not some
So
of,
they are,
every one of them is rip off. I'm paying 400. I'm paying about 460 pounds for my car, right? And sometimes I just feel like this used to be what people actually pay to buy a brand new car, but somebody somewhere felt like, you know, I have to pay that much to drive a car.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, when I calculated what they are making from me and what you call the interest, because I finance it as well, right? I was like, oh, God, that's like almost 10 grand.
You go, by the time you check the interest, by the time you check the interest, you know, see,
so it's about 10 grand. I'm saying it to you. My car is worth 26,000 pounds sterling, right? However, the entire whole finance and everything about is total of 36,000 pounds.
Can you imagine?
That's an extra straight 10,000 that goes into them in the space of 3 years. That's rip off.
But at least Maiyegun, at least, even though okay, it's a rip off, but at least you can afford to drive whichever car you want to drive, right? And you see, and you can see that. Yeah, and you see that those things that you try to do is still working out for you. But in this instance, they will go and collect loan, interest rate go follow, they will come back, and you people are still suffering. Which kind thing? How that one can take happen like that? You understand? You know, I don't know if you understand what I try to put out there.
Like it is all laced scam to start with.
Yeah.
And according to them, any condition is fine since they won't be the one paying it or held responsible for it. Here you get another person is going to pay, so I could take any conditions. It's a shame, Ahmed.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Anyway, Mami. Thank you so much.
We can allow that people to call. No, Allah now.
Bless you. Let me take this one. I have another caller on the line, and here, can you hear me? Reconnecting, and I want to believe that this is a call from possibly UAE. Keep trying, okay? You are likely going to get through, you know, any moment as well, okay? So yeah, 1 sec. So to every one of you still here, 1 sec. I have another caller on the line, and I hope I get you. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
The Prince Judgeman.
The Tucano Mike.
How are you today?
I'm fine, Baba. Are you?
Well, very well. Thanks for asking.
Yes, so this is Prince Judgeman representing IPOB for life, Baba.
That's right.
Yes, so Baba, I say make I call or make I shook mouth because I don't take.
I know.
You see, yesterday program that was very hot, and today too. I figured out something. You know, Tunumbu, the Senate, if Tunumbu cannot do, does not exist.
So.
You saw during their election, when they did an introduction to their election campaign, you know, Turumbu, they went as far as even trying God. They went and brought bishops, thugs, and wear them bishop robe. You know, even God, Turumbu no fear God. They brought these thugs and wear them robes and line them up. Some came with Okada, and they presented them as a. They presented them as a
video. We all saw the video here that time. Now, they are covering their eyes. Bishop. I remember. Let's be very factual too. This bishop, fake bishop, we are talking about. They were hired to attend the unveiling of Shitty Man as Stephen's vice in Neo. So that the people cannot, so that people will not say the Muslim tickets did not have the Christians' endorsements. So they had to hire fake bishop to come and attend where Tinubu want to unveil shitty man as his running mate, Muslim. And they couldn't find any real bishop in Nigeria to attend of fake one.
So, Baba, is it why I touched that place? Is to lay a foundation of where I'm going. You saw this man, that blind man they brought to represent, they say he's representing Yoruba in their peace accord with the Betiala. That blind man, the one that wearing that big space. You know, that man is a blind man. He doesn't know what he's signing. He was signing there.
Really? I didn't pay attention. Nah. That man there, that was okay. Continue. I'm going to go look for his photo.
Yes, go and look for his photo. It's like a bonga fish. You know, that you look at him very well. His neck like ostrich.
You think he's blind, Abi? Okay, I'll go look.
Yeah, a blind man. He doesn't know what he's signing. You know, Maiyegun, why I'm pinpointing it out is because those criminals that Turumbu sent to go and do this peace accord with terrorists. They've forgotten that Afonja. In Afonja signed this kind of peace accord with Fulani terrorists years back.
That's right.
That was how Ilorin, all the whole Abia in Ilorin was killed, and they now reinstate emirs there in Ilorin. These are Gbodorians from Guinea that call themselves part of Yoruba that are not
all
Yorubas.
These Guineans.
You see, this they don't understand the kind of snake that they are playing with. You know, so Maiyegun General. Why I'm just pointing this out so that the Yorubas, the real Yorubas, you know, I told you the other day that this Oniyeri, what is called? That's Oniyeri.
See, come, Prince Jejeman. You can speak Yoruba to some extent. Why are you finding it difficult to pronounce all these names? Afoja,
no,
you know it's Afoja. No. You can speak better. Onitiri or Onidiri. What do you call it now? Oniyeri.
Oniyeri. I know. I'm twisting it.
She's called Onidiri. I mean, sorry, Onitiri.
Onitiri. You know, say my Yoruba Agbara nowadays.
I know. I'm just pulling your legs, right? But you were in Lagos for a while. You shouldn't be this worse.
Yeah.
If I was lucky to actually the same way some of you actually lived in Lagos, right? If I was lucky to have lived in Onitsha, Abia, majority of you probably right now you want them to do DNA that I'm not Igbo, because I will be so much fluent, I swear. Right?
Yeah, I know.
But you continue, Prince.
You know, say, Baba, you are super talented.
I could be if I want to. I know. Thank you.
So you see that you know, she was planted. It's called playing out now. You can observe it.
She's not even intelligent enough to be a planted person. But well, if a lot of people believes it,
in Nigeria, if you can shout on top of your voice, they will think that you're intelligent. You understand? Even if you are foolish. If you can shout on top of your voice,
shout and brag,
your voice is higher than everybody's voice. Just like area boys, they will believe that you are intelligent. You get what I mean?
I do with you.
So, so now the thing will happen. If you look at the play they acted that is it Oyo that those people that went
Ibadan, the House of Assembly, Ibadan.
If you Maiyegun, you see that if it is if actually those guys are really those that went for that mission, they can't arrest them that way and parade them.
That's what we are saying to people. You know, a lot of people wanted the news. They wanted to sound like they are powerful by sending people into places where they couldn't really do anything other than to bring further ridicule to the entire, the entire movement. They know that, but they just wanted the news. The news that, oh, they want to take over Ibadan when they're actually not taking over anywhere.
And no, it's all that in stage play,
some of them love it that way.
Stage manage. We know they cannot distract us. Tulumbu know that people who are serious for their freedom are serious. He knows. They knows. You understand? And they understand that Nigeria, the way Nigeria is, Nigeria is sitting on the keg of gunpowder. They knows. Do you understand? So anything that they can act to put fear in people, just to create fear, they will continue to do it. But what we are assuring them is that they will not succeed. They cannot. Because now an hungry man is an angry man.
That's right.
And an angry man will continue to agitate.
That's right.
And that's what freedom is all about. Until freedom is restored.
Achieved.
So Maiyegun General, we are still holding on. We are still holding on our
ground. Still very steadfast.
Yes,
and for those who don't know, they should know now. The highest
we are not looking back.
For the breakup,
no looking back.
President Jamano, the number one marketer for the breakup of Nigeria is the Nigerian criminal government.
Exactly.
Every day that they continue to show their failure and all that every day they are putting nail on the coffin of this contraption. They are our number one advertisers. Me and you are just those who wanted to explain it better to those who don't. They will.
And finally, yes, and finally, Baba Maiyegun, in case they don't know, if they like, let them break all the whole house. In Nigeria, in the name that they are fighting those who want their freedom. We can stay outside. The rain will be beating us and sun will be beating us. But we will continue to fight until Biafra nation is restored.
That's right.
Yoruba nation is restored.
That's right.
So whatever they are doing to distract us, to frustrate us, to weaken our spirit, they are wasting their time. Thank you, Maiyegun General. God bless you for your good work, Baba.
Thanks a lot for also being part of it as well. So that's a good one from Prince Jejeman, all the way from London. So if you too want to be part of this, remember, all you have to do is to grab your phone and dial the number right there that is scrolling on your screen. And let's see if I could get this in here. Hello there, sir.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
How are you today, Baba?
I'm doing very fine. How are you, your family,
I am very
your wife,
well.
and your kids?
Thank you. Thanks for asking, man.
Okay, Maiyegun, I don't know what happened. I was wondering because I tried to call you like 2 days now. I'm not reaching you.
Really?
I don't know.
Is it on the program or?
Yeah, I felt maybe you was talking. Yeah, on your program. Then suddenly, once the program is done, then my line will be connecting. So I was thinking, I don't know, UAE, they can do anything. They have people monitoring their server, their internet. I don't know
what you say. And when they see the monitor, you see, one thing about people monitoring the line is that they just listen out for some keywords. You understand? So
yes.
This in your word, then they will quickly just tap the line. I get that. Really sorry about that, man.
Yeah,
Glad you are here, though.
We know this country, they are very, I don't know how to put it, but they prefer whatever happened here to remain here. Even when crisis occur here, maybe fire incidents or accidents happen on the road, and someone video it and post it on the status, maybe Facebook or WhatsApp, they will tie a person down and they will apprehend you. Maybe 6 months in jail, or you pay 5,000 dirhams.
Because I saw it in the news as well, that all of you should stop posting about the flood.
Yeah.
I saw that in the news. Yeah. You have to stop it, stop posting it. It's now a crime to post about the flood.
Like when one Nigerian lady, these people that they do, they brought girl like they put them into streets hustling.
Oh.
When one of the madam pushed her girl from building and she died. So a lot of people were posting it on Facebook. Almost all of them were apprehended, you know.
Wow.
Even the woman right now, she's in jail. Yeah, she killed the girl. That was last year.
To keep things there covered, not like free to share them like that.
Yes.
Anyway,
so I've been watching your program.
Please, continue.
Every day I try to call you because I always like to contribute my little opinion in whatever you do, because what you are doing here is not easy, and you need people to be, at least every day, they should be calling you and making you to know that, yes, they are with you. You know? Because there was a guy that told you that you are very, very valuable. That there was a program he said that you don't want nothing. So one man called and was telling you that you are very valuable and you should know that. And that is how it is. You are very, very valuable, you know? Very valuable, yes. Very expensive.
Thanks a lot, man.
So what you do, yeah, man, you are welcome. Yeah. What you do, I know, even without you exposing it, I know Nigeria government might have contacted you. We know all these things. So not everybody will reject it. Not everybody will say no. It's because of, you know that you have followers, you have people that even if you come live midnight, they will be there to listen. So you don't want to betray these people.
No.
You know?
No.
Just like
no.
Yeah, just like Martin Nandikalu. Martin Nandikalu don't want to betray Biafrans. If not, he would love to work out free. Nigeria government have given him conditions to sign and they will leave him, but he knows that he has followers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you. I know all these things, so we know, and that's why whenever you say they want to take calls and the line is open, I try to call, but I don't know, the call will not be going. Then suddenly after your call, yeah, after the program is over, the call will start ringing.
The line will be free.
You know?
I know. Sorry about that, though. And thank you so much for those kind words as well, right? Because, you know, I'll tell you something. One of the things that while I was growing up, my own great-grandfather, and then, my grandfather in particular, was pretty much like, he told me this, but he didn't say it like I would possibly have expected him to say or put it. But he said it casually. He told me that, you know, you have to live your world. I mean, you have to live your life like nobody owes you anything. It's so important you live your life that way. So that, number one, you will never be among the people that will be sad because they have been disappointed. People they felt like, you know what I mean, they will have been disappointed. But also say something. But one thing about the life, one thing about life is this. He said it is like the ground as well as the seed. So whatever you put into the ground, if you water it, there is a chance that it will germinate. And if you are patient enough to let it grow, it could bear you fruit. That's what he told me. But he didn't say it this way. He said it casually. It is what I put into the world that the world is going to really give me back. Well, the world owes me nothing. So according to him, I have to have something too. And that is why I come here all the time to say, I am not expecting anybody to think they are beholden to me or they owe me anything. But for every one of you, for every, you know what I mean? Like for every one of you who genuinely, really, really care for me, like care and liked me, I always want to say to everybody that I value it so much. So you get.
We appreciate
valuing that. Thank you so much for saying all those things. By the way, I do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Like on the program tonight, what you said is I talk about the rainfall in Dubai.
That's right.
And there was no light bridge. You know the rain fell on Monday last week. You know, and they said the rain was at least the whole of the rain that was supposed to fall throughout the whole year fell on that Monday. Heavy shower.
I know.
You know, because of their climate change, whenever it rains in Dubai, in UAE, they used to lose a lot of money. They lose lots of money. So they don't like it. Even if God wants,
and that destruction is so massive,
rain,
man.
but UAE don't like rain because if it rains, they lose money. Believe me. Even can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. All of us can.
Yeah. Like this rain now that happens last week, there is one particular line on the express. Like, they don't have their shop, their mall is being closed. Like I can count like 12 big malls here. They are closed because of everywhere was flooded.
I know.
Yeah, even Dubai Mall, there was no way to Dubai Mall. Even airports, Emirates airline, fly Dubai, everywhere was flooded.
I saw planes, right, landing in water.
Yeah,
plane
was going to different airports to land, maybe Oman or near countries in UAE. Yeah, yes. Because there was no way. The water was everywhere.
It's not all of that, though. Your electricity no turn off at all. To see how amount they've taken
That's my point. That's where I'm going to.
Yeah?
Even the close of there was the kids that I don't know, maybe 2, 3, or 4 that the flood took also.
Oh.
May their soul rest in peace. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. So there was no light bridge till today. There is no light bridge. There is constant light, steady. Because they are prepared. They are capable. UAE is prepared. Not like Nigeria. Nigeria have the money to put things in order.
But we choose not to, or just take the money to go and buy a house in Dubai, the same Dubai. See, if I never believed that there is a network that could, a technology that can be used to jam your line from some certain countries in the world. Every time I speak to my friend from UAE, we always suffer this. Now, I think it has gotten to that stage that your line will keep doing that and we will never hear you, unfortunately. It's now breaking like, can you hear me? If I never believed that before, this will be the 3rd or 2nd time that this is happening. And I promise you, he's there talking right now, but we will never hear what he's saying. But let's see another caller. Hello there.
Baba Gbalagba.
Baba.
Gbalagba to jag Gbalagbi lo.
How are you today?
I do all right, Baba. Good evening to you and to all the members of the Temple of Truth. Please.
To you. And that's Marty, our own Martinelli. Is that you?
Now maybe this, Baba.
It is Martinelli. Baba, you are welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID is over. Social distancing is over.
It's over.
Get familiar with the like button.
At least.
At least we are here already. What I don't understand, you Nigerians, you don't like to let other people know about other good things that you are experiencing.
Just sit down there, you've been able to jejely. Come on.
Don't say Maiyegun. You don't want me other people. You can't call be Maiyegun. You know why? Like, press the like button so that other people
so simple.
Once you press the like
button, you are done.
It will suggest it to other people that that in your contact list. That's so it be. That's the reason. So please, ladies and gentlemen, press the like button. Like button. Maiyegun, I no get much to say. I just want to appreciate you for your undying effort and your relentless effort in this mission of liberation and trying to awaken the minds of the people. I really appreciate you. Baba, we can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough. We appreciate you enough because what you're doing is a selfless job. It's a thankless job.
It is a thankless
job. No amount of contribution, no amount of thank you is going to be enough to actually, appreciate you enough. So please, Baba, thank you very much.
That's our Maiyegun, Baba. We are going to meet tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon when we continue. So it's really good to hear from you, Baba.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your week.
Just wanted to add one or two things, if you don't mind.
Oh, great. That would be great then. Please use that.
Yeah. So, this borrow that Nigeria is borrowing.
Borrowing for sorrowing, Baba.
Borrowing, like even UK borrows money. America, everybody they borrow money. It's not a crime to borrow money, but the people know that money that they are borrowing, every goddamn penny of that money is being accounted for. Did you hear of the MP that was arrested recently for money, for misappropriation of funds? Did you hear about him?
I think I did. I heard, and I think it was like he made some wrong claims, or he made some wrong buys that he had to claim the public money for, and now he's been held responsible for it. I think I read it. I did.
How much is the money? Be 5K.
Now, in fact, it was actually like I think it was a 2007 something or so. So
all the money together, it was less than £5,000.
It was less than £5,000. Yeah,
he's actually going to go to jail for this shit.
False claim. He's going to go collecting money for something that
he didn't steal the money. He didn't use the money to go and carry the money. He just used to enjoy while he was doing his normal duties. And Nigeria, like I always say, no matter how much the bee try to explain to the fly that polling is better than shit, the fly will never understand. But should he fly in Nigeria, you will understand eventually.
By fire, by force.
By fire, by force. As long as Maiyegun breathes, and as long as we are still like
we will never allow, Baba, we will never allow them to continue to blame the devil, the weather, their village people, their ancestors, but themselves making these decisions.
As a matter of fact, the devil wants you to enjoy. The devil wants you to drive Lamborghini.
Yes.
The devil, like, in this world you are living,
devil love flashy things. Devil love good life.
Now them they enjoy past. People they talk about all this Illuminati, all this devil worshippers. They don't in this part of the world. All the people that they say they are devil worshippers, but not them. They enjoy past. But for Nigeria, the people that are worshiping God are suffering, and those that are worshiping devil, I don't. So or you that country, I don't just understand.
Honestly,
don't get it. I don't understand. But as long as Maiyegun breathes, as long as we are still alive, I just one I forgot to tell you to add the other day.
Right.
It just I got reminded when President German came on about that Dunamis pastor and the lady.
Yes.
You see, I do me go pay Maiyegun. You say before for that lamba. Pay me go, Baba na lamba that thing be. You know all these people, you know currently right now, they are doing a lot of documentary, a lot of panorama and all that kind of things. So that man is under investigation for one of the lies, for one of the false miracle he did. So he's been monitored. He's been, they are going to do a documentary on him very soon. So that woman, he brought that woman out to come and, to divert people's attention.
Like
and
just saving stuff,
Yeah, God bless you. Just to save face that anybody that come and say rubbish here, your own. No, it's not me that ask you to come and say something. But have you ever seen anybody that would climb on the altar of any church without being asked, without being interviewed?
They don't take random people. We all know that.
You understand?
They don't want you to come and bust and spoil business, right? They will have already spoken to you at the backstage. Sometimes they will even have possibly guide what you have. I mean, what you're going to say and how you have to say it. That one that day just kind of went out of hand, and
it didn't go out of hand. Everything was planned.
It was all planned, right?
It was a plan. It was a plan war. Now these false pastors, where Prince Jejema talk, now just remind me to Adam. These people, they would do anything. They would, when you talk of propaganda, you say every mission get propaganda office. These people they get ministry of propaganda, and they will do anything to cover their ass. They will do anything to cover their lies, just like their political bodies. Anything they say, never believe them.
No,
When they are saying when they are saying A, they actually
they are
mean
possibly
D.
meaning D. So far from what they are saying.
So
I
like
do
we
get
always
that.
say,
You know
believe
something
them.
there too, Baba. You know something. A lot of I personally felt at a point, I personally feel like the way they use God and religion, right, to water down our ability. Oh, bad
Yeah.
girl. Well, let me say it right.
Martinelli.
You need, wait, Baba. You need a job, and you've got these qualifications and all of that, okay? And then you saw an opening for the job. So you put in, right? You sign in and all of that, sign up for it and all that. And then they say you have to go through some process of, verification and stuff to know if you are actually adequate for the job. Then you went through all of that, you ace it, and then they give you a job, okay? But there's somebody somewhere that's going to tell you that all of that, remember that somebody else tried the same thing but failed, or God favored you. It's not by your might, it's not your doing, it's not your ability, it's not your capability that you actually ace that, this interview test that you got the job. And something inside your brain also is saying, and people walk up, I never like this, okay? Then people will walk up to the altar where a man, a charlatan that can read Bible, is shouting, then you grab the mic and you say, oh, I have been reading, I've been studying, but I didn't get anything. You want to lie just to make God look so great, right? And he said, then I just prayed to God. I called pastor, and pastor prayed for me. And immediately I go to the exam, to the hall where they want to do the interview. They just gave me the job. You run down the whole effort of actually achieving something great.
Your life,
you got a job. You got a job from the scratch up. I want this job to get into see if you are qualified. Then all of that is scaled down onto an imaginary God who just singled you out and bless you. It's not your faith, it's not your power, it's not your brain, it's not your intelligence. So all of that, they are not there. And that's what is happening in Nigeria.
That is how bad. That is how much. That is
like, how could you underplay the effort that somebody, a young child, put so much effort, right, to achieve academic excellence? Give glory to God. Thank you, God, for this and all of that. But do not water down the achievement. Do not water down the effort. Do not water down everything. Because to you is that he could have put all of that and failed. No, he won't.
No,
I mean,
won't. Did you hear of what's his name? Pastor Suleiman. Was it Pastor Suleiman or one pastor that was talking about a student who only wrote 2 lines in an exam, and then he wrote in Jesus' name or something, and he managed to pass. A prayer warrior who didn't read, who didn't really do
anything.
Yeah, because he was
supposed to fail
at a video.
But he wrote Jesus' name,
just wrote and 2 lines. He passed. You see, until people realize.
And the one that read, they will complete. They will tell you the one that read and read everything, he failed.
He failed.
So you, as a young chap, reading the 2 stories, what would you do? Follow God or follow your own brain? Oh, don't follow your brain. Follow God. God can show you the way. But see where we are. Manipulation of the highest order. I do not like it.
May God. Let me not even say God. Whatever it is that people believe, I hope it just something happens and their brain will open, because I can't even be asking God because I don't know which kind of God they are serving.
You have to call to
if I'm asking their God, if I'm asking their God to help them now, I don't know if their God is actually going to help them. Because I don't know, but any which way, Sha.
So I just want parents, if you are parents listening to me today, that doesn't remove God in your life if you're religious, but stop underplaying the achievement of your children. You are psychologically preparing them to say they can't do anything. And I mean, I have people who will tell you, you cannot do anything in this life if God does it. No, stop that nonsense. You get what I mean? Like, stop putting it in the brain of your child or of your children that they are incapable of doing things. God has given them brains to think and excel.
Like at the end of At the end of the day, you wouldn't really blame them much because the government have allowed them, they've given them free will, because in that way it enables the government to do whatever they want and keep the people in collaboration with the spiritual leaders to keep the people in perpetual poverty and
just enslavement like that, Baba.
It's a collaborative effort. The religious leaders and the political leaders
class,
they are in cahoots. So until the people realize this fact, because it is not an assumption, it is not an imagination, it is a fact. The religious leaders and the political leaders are in cahoots. Even though they do disagree sometimes, like the fake bishop that they got, because I'm pretty sure they must have tried to pay them, try to buy them. But on that particular day, they probably refused and they didn't turn up. So they had to go and rent fake.
So they had to rent.
But either way, we all know they are together.
Absolutely.
So my people, make una soji ara yin o tell by that soji. We dey here, they wait. When una wake up, we'll be here.
You know that's it. Yaman Soleko here now. Okay. Ki mogun. Koloma ki mogun bo ogmo. So that Kiloko Omoti, Oloma Komoti, you get that? So may the Mugu never rise, and that should be the #1 prayer of the Nigerian politicians. I bet it. Yeah. Martinelli, it's really good to hear from you again tonight, sir. Okay, you have a good one. Thank you so much. And that's my brother calling back from the UAE. Let's hope the line is clear enough. He has 1 or 2 to possibly add to this. Can you still hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Maiyegun. I'll just keep on trying.
Oh, God knows what you said that got your line to be called like that. We couldn't hear you anymore. But I'll let you have
I know.
I'll let you have another 2-3 minutes, please, to add to what you said before.
I know they will cut off the line. I know. I know they will
it's really tricky.
So yeah. So the other thing I want to say is after the rain, there was no glitch of light. There was light here, 100%. Across the whole of UAE.
Light no go off.
Not like
the house is no collapse under that water.
No.
Because
just like
the water was so high that it took the entire floor of the whole building. It was that high.
Yeah.
Here you get.
It took even some children. I've told you before. It took them. Yeah.
And yet there is no building collapse. There is no road collapse. There is no what else again? No power failure.
Nothing.
You carried on the fight now for almost 2 years. They too, they still have electricity. Country where they fight war.
Yeah, that's not. You see, okay, you can imagine Nigeria Central Bank governor going to World Bank to sign for a loan, 2.5. So what I keep telling myself is, how long will Nigeria keep on borrowing? They say that they are the African largest economy, but they keep on borrowing. And the most funniest part of it is that after borrowing this money, nothing to show. The country is going backward, nothing to show. People are suffering. Nigeria in UAE, we are trapped. Do you know, the reason why I even cut back, I don't know, but I know, I wanted to say this here in your program because I'm a follower since going to 6 years now, 2018, the funniest part now is that we are trapped here, not just me and my family, but Nigerians, we are trapped here. Apart from the other reasons that Nigerians no longer be able to get a flat in Dubai, unless we will go and use a different name like Indian nationality or Filipino nationality before we can be able to get a flat for residence. If we go with our own name, passport, they will not give us, they will deny us. So we have to pay extra, double of what other people are paying here. And our government are not even looking into that aspect.
I love that you keep every opportunity you have. You know something, every chance you have to call onto the program. I want you to always remind us, okay? That
because I know that it's you.
And everything you are going through. I want you to be doing that for us. Because that's the only way we can keep it in the minds of a lot of people. Because apart from that, What can we do when these criminals are still in charge?
Your program go very far. You know, like for instance, one flat here in Dubai before, maybe people will pay 40,000 for one full year in dirhams. But right now, because of your nationality, we have Nigerian passport, they will take it to 60,000, 65,000. But other people are still paying that 40, just Nigerians alone.
That's not fair.
And nobody's speaking.
Hang on, can I ask you a question, right? Can I ask you one question? Okay. Like,
okay,
does Nigeria still have embassy or mission in UAE that all of you know of? Or they pack
that
up,
is the point. That is the point I wanted to. I wanted to make that point before you ask me that question. You know, Nigeria embassy in Dubai here is also compromised. You know, Chief Numbu gives them money. I know, maybe little or more. I don't know, but whatever he gives to them for Nigerians stranded in Dubai, they share it among themselves. Like the last time, APs took people back from Charade to Nigeria, those people, it was Buhari that paid cash instantly from Nigeria. He paid all the whole fees, which means all the money the Nigeria have been giving to the embassy, no account for. It was nowhere to be found. So if not that Buhari funded that money instantly, those people, I think about 103 people, I don't know, you know. So I'm telling you, we have been to the embassy, no help. I'm telling you this, that UAE is messed up for Nigeria.
For everyone listening to us, right? Let's see. Take a moment and just imagine this. Nigeria was supposed to be a country now.
My son is not feeling too well, and I have to give my passport, my original passport, to hospital before they can attend to him. No funds to pay. No, the funds, both my savings are gone. So I gave them my original passport so they save the life before anything. My original passport, my wife's original passport is there as I speak to you now. You know, so the pressure I have been calling even to take loan, maybe I could pay back. No. So really, it's frustrating. Honestly, really, I will use this medium to say, Maiyegun, I don't know if there's any way I can get little help. I don't know, no matter how, but it will go a very long way for me and my children. Honestly, to go a very long way, because I need to get at least my original passport first back from the hospital. Honestly speaking, honestly.
Well,
honestly,
this is what I'm going to possibly try and then do. A lot of us are hearing you tonight, and I bet we have those who probably would really love to help, even if it's just the temporary support and all that. Okay, but let me go put some.
Please, Maiyegun, I'm very happy. Honestly, to go a long way for me. My children, they are very small. They're very small.
So sorry, man. Like, I can only imagine what it is like, honestly speaking. I can only imagine, because I have never really been in that situation myself. I can't imagine what it's going to be like for me right now, that my family here is being sort of limited to have access to what other people have access to, simply because I'm from Nigeria. So I can only imagine what it is like, because it's called disruption of life, disruption of your own everything. And that is something that normally I could say somebody could find their way if children are not involved. Or having children around, and I can only imagine. And I'm a father myself. Okay?
Many Nigerians are in jail now because they couldn't hold it anymore. They go to snatch gold, they go to rob ATM machines, they do a lot of things. You know, and there's in Dubai, whatever you do, camera is watching. They have what they call evil eye. It's on air, you cannot see it. So whatever you commit any crime, and you feel that maybe camera is not watching, is a lie. Once they click on the evil eye, to picture everything on that area. So everybody, most of Nigerians are in jail, in Awi jail. This is fact. Awi jail. Even they said that the jail is now filled up. So they say that once they catch Nigerians again, after 2 weeks, they will deport them and they will blacklist them. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ban. Really, Maiyegun, I don't know, but I know that
what some will say is that why don't you go back to Nigeria? but I don't want to be, I've had people say that, okay, but I don't want to be that people who gives people this option, okay? I just want us to be people who sort of give helping hands to those who, ask for it. And if they want more support beyond just a stretch of hand of fellowship, right, they will say it too. So there's no point in dictating for people what they should do or what they should not do, all right? But in your own case, right, I am going to think about something, okay? And I'm going to think about something very fast. I'll put that together and possibly I can get 1 or 2 or 3 people on this platform that will also join me. And whatever we can come up with, you will be aware, you will be seeing it, we will get across to you, okay? But let me go think about something or how to really put this together, okay? And you will hear from me, at least this week. Okay, thanks a lot. Now, that's a very tough one. I know how and our concerns when it comes to, situation like this. A lot of us are indeed like emotional enough to give support and all that. But things like this really do get to me, if I have to be honest. All right. And it is simply because a lot of us left that contraption. And there are many of us who left with our families. And everything was fine. We've done everything right. You know what I mean? But still, Nigeria still happened to us wherever we are. Before I left Nigeria, I remember I used to have money. Now, I'll tell you this story and I'll wrap it up tonight because I don't think I really have the stomach to really take more course now. But I'm going to end it with this. Every time I speak to this, brother, what replay in my head is what I experienced before I left Nigeria. Men generally, we are not alive if we are unable to really do what we want to do or how we really want to help and support our family. If we can't, a man is like, he will never be happy. And apart from not being happy, it breaks out every now and then if you have to watch your children, in this case, share in that situation. Okay. When I was in Nigeria, I used to have money. Like I used to have money, like the standard money. For those who know me very well, I used to have money. Like I had a business. So that business is called the GNLD business. It's crazy, right? I did well. But before the business folded, we were all fine, I've got my keys and all that. There were 2 of them. Then things dropped and started taking the next turn when my business took a downturn. I actually sat and watched the whole thing blew away. And I remember, in order for me not to really make myself too despondent or sort of too sad all the time, so if I want to feed, and I remember this too, that in order for my daughter, Koforola, not to possibly sense that we were drinking just Gary, so I will get some cowbell milk. So cowbell milk, she's a baby, I'm the father. So cowbell milk means she's having a milk. I can't give her cowbell and she wasn't too young. She was somewhere around around the 3 years or so old. As a father, right? So I will share this with her. We'll drink Gary, and she was such a happy child, happy baby. I wasn't happy. But look at my daughter. She's there so happy, munching that little girl. And I was there like, man, no girl. What happened to me? Is this how that as a father, you are like just there, you see yourself and be like, what can I do to get us out of this situation? What can I do? So every time you speak to me, bro, that is what actually replays in my head. You are not in Nigeria. The children are not drinking Gary. But we can see and tell what this disruption truly means for a family like yours in a foreign land, not like in Nigeria where you could possibly still have 1 or 2 or 3 people, your friends, your family that could still, depends on who you are, that could still come around and just fill in the gap for you. Very far away that people like you are suffering the same fate. So I can only imagine. I want to employ a lot of us tonight to think about it. Because you see, life can happen to us very fast. And in a way that could actually overwhelm us. But there's nothing wrong in asking for help. Honestly speaking, when I go to the UK, I finally understand the concept of talking about what bothers you and asking for help. As a typical Niger, we hardly ask for help because asking for help shows you are a weak person, or even crying when you break down is considered a sign of a weakness. But it is not. You are human. You can ask for help. Ask for it when you can. And I appreciate the fact that it's our brother just asked for help. So we have to work something and put something together. And respond. I have a caller. Hello there. Oh, did I lose you earlier? Okay, I'll get you back on then. Can you hear me?
Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Well, very well. Until the last 5 minutes, because my mood is somehow just swung to the fast right now. But yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah, it's Ferdinand from Newcastle.
Freddy, my man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm at work. I decided to hide somewhere to call you.
Yeah.
So forget about it.
We do not want them to find out, though, right? So then let's make it faster, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, first of all, I really feel what my brother in Dubai is really going through. I would suggest if every member of Temple Truth can contribute, even if it is £10 or $10, depending on the country you find yourself. If we could just have a central point where we can just make this contribution and then send to him and maybe other people. Yeah, that would be very nice, because I've not really been in that situation, but I know what it means being stranded in a country that is not your country. The depression alone can kill you. It can turn your psychological state into something else.
Mess up with your mental health. That's right.
Yeah, it can just mess up with your mental health. So if we could all just contribute, we in the UK, we can contribute £10. Other members in America, that place can contribute $10, and we will just kind of like
that will make it easier. Yeah,
so we can actually just reach out, because once a Nigerian is affected, once we are out of that contraption, we see ourselves as brothers. It doesn't matter anywhere you come from, anything. You get it? So the politicians and the colonial masters has actually messed up with our head and other things. I was just taking my time to listen to other broadcasts you made before today about how this contraption came into being, and I noticed that it's always been the same story from the beginning. And I would also like to suggest to our brother there, if he can find his way back home. For me, I don't really like telling him what to do, just like you said, but right now, is it not better to stay in Nigeria, in your home country, where you parent, where nobody subjects you to kind of a different treatment?
Where it's going to even be easier for you to choose another place to go.
Than staying in the UAE without the hope of tomorrow. Because while I'm saying this is because the situation is obviously isn't going to get. I hate to sound negative, but from what he's saying, it's not going to get any better soon. And I feel the best thing for him to do now would have been to kind of like, if we can just send him money, he can just book a flight, go back home with his family, And then once he's in Nigeria, he can think of moving to another country.
And anybody could come in and be of help then. But you know, I understand if he's worried about the uncertainty, maybe something that will, an assurance that could come from this part where people can say, don't worry, go back first, okay? We'll work something out when you get there. And we'll do that as soon as we can. Don't worry about the money as well. We can always, you know what I mean? Like, now, maybe that could give him a bit of, you know, leverage to think of it. But one-on-one on his own, I will understand why he won't want to just go without a real concrete plan. I will understand.
Yeah, I know, because it is, that's what we're just talking about. Nigeria is happening to him in far away UAE.
In far away UAE.
You know,
we all know why. I believe he escaped from Nigeria, just like all of us here now, right?
Yeah,
Nigeria still go meet there. Exactly.
So, because the problem, we all know why this thing is happening. If not for that that money they embezzled,
$10 billion of this company, Nigeria won't pay back.
Yes. Now look at him. He did not take part in the money. He doesn't know when he did not know when the transaction happened. The thieves in the government embezzled this money, and now the ordinary citizens are also leaving Nigeria for a greener pasture elsewhere. The crimes of Nigerian politicians, our stupid politicians that have looted our future, has still caught up with him, even in far away UAE. That is what we are thinking, that we need to end this contraption once and for all so that people will be free.
Exactly.
Because right now, the future of our children is not even granted.
Yeah.
Our parents also had this kind of plans when they were, you know, moving into democracy. Now, look at us. We are still suffering what our parents have suffered years back. So, I really feel for him. And I just want to say thank you for what you've been doing. It's not really been easy. I went the other day to deliver a lecture in a school. And I was talking and trying to like get my message across, and my throat was so dried. I started drinking water. I was like, wow, is this what Maiyegun goes through every time he prepares a program or something to deliver to us?
That's why I always have this my cup of tea. Some people think it's a fashion. They think it's fashion. Some people think that maybe I'm just saying that as a no. If I don't drink, I would have stopped this long time ago. See this my lips, it'll be like say they get this way they take dry arm, they suck arm. In a way,
it's not easy. It's not an easy job, and I could tell because of the sacrifice you're making. Because just merely speaking to a congregation of students in a university hall, I know how I felt, and it was not really easy. So you actually doing this thing, your passion will never go unnoticed, and I just pray that God will actually see these sacrifices and then answer all of our prayers, because it's like a burden on you that you need to do this every day. I mean, like something is really going out of you. Just keep a good job.
Ferdinand, I said, I am happy to do this because this seems to be the the easiest of it all. Somehow, even though it's the toughest too. Do you get that now?
Yeah.
But we will never keep short because this is what I have now to use. Tomorrow I may have something even like more effective and bigger than this to use. Until then, right? We just have to keep. We just have to. It's easier for people to slide back, out of sight, out of mind. That's why I can't go away yet.
You're right. You're right. More Gbese. Yeah. Thank you very much, Maiyegun.
I appreciate this. Okay, you stay safe. Okay, that's Ferdinand, my own brother there from Newcastle. Usually we say Newcastle upon Tyne or Newcastle upon Tyne. But it's actually Newcastle, a beautiful place that is just a few hours away from my city here, 2 hours to Newcastle. Anyway, thanks to every one of you who has been part of this set tonight. I have enjoyed every bit of it. It's Sunday, time that I love to speak my mind, and I could speak like somebody who is programmed to just talk, like the whole world was stuck in my mouth. And I'm happy I was able to unload a lot of them this evening. And a lot of you have also been very, very, very amazing being part of this chatted tonight. I would love to see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow is Monday, I believe. You are supposed to be here from anytime from 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And I think 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon should be what? Your time in America or all these places, right? Check it, 1:30 p.m. UK time. We will continue with this tomorrow. I know some feels like it could be boring, but see what is left. That's all that is left. See, this is what is left for us to read. Don't miss it. Okay? And thank you once again. As you are signing out of here, remember, like that broadcast. It's important. and good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe é àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ẹ̀yin bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.